Now it's time. People, we did a whole lot of stuff before we got to the main part of this show, which is our Toy Story spoiler talk.
Bonnie made a friend in class.
Oh, she's already making friends.
No, she literally made a new friend. I want you to meet Forky.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
All I have is the beauty of your artwork, Martin, and dtmerch.com right there. What is sweeter than the baklava or the Turkish delight? Your the Great and Powerful Oz shirt, which we had to change for copyright reasons.
I know. I was like, that was the whole point of the shirt.
Yeah.
Was it called the Great and Powerful?
Now they just changed the what up, son. Got the coffee cup. We got the phone cover. Them baby tees up in there. And the gift of choice. I'm also doing this because I feel like I got to come in and really correct some of these people. Some of these people are talking about how good this movie is, how they love it, how the movie moved them, how, it's so good they don't even know what place to put it in, or it just even more so completed this whole story arc of Woody and friends. And then they have the nerve to come out and say that, oh, it's a full price, or, it's simply amazing or great. I can't stand for this. This movie, and I feel like this is why I have to make this. I feel like I have to justify. Now I got to come out and justify why I gave this movie a better than sex.
Do you?
I do. Because
I get it.
You get it? Martin, I don't think you do. Because if you did, you give it better than sex too. Now I got to come in and explain.
I didn't crawl up your ass on Infinity War.
Well, Martin, you didn't crawl up my ass.
Or Endgame.
No, you didn't. But Martin, I see there's room in your ass for a little bit of me. People like, finally. I got to come in here and look, if you still don't want to do it, then that's your problem. But I feel like I got to tell these people why this is better than sex.
Okay.
And maybe, just maybe by the time we're done with this, you'll come to your senses. You actually know what the fuck you're talking about by the end of this. And maybe you too will utter the words better than sex when referring to this film. Because see, for one thing, it is not just judging this movie just solely as one movie right here. Oh, no. Let's go and take a look at a little refresher for y'all of Toy Story 4.
He's a spork. Yes, yeah, I know. Forky is the most important toy to Bonnie right now. We all have to make sure nothing happens to him.
Listen, this is why I'm joking with people out there, but I am going to tell you why I do consider this movie a better than sex film, and why I understand why people also, not see it the way I do. But the reason why I want to say that this movie is a better than sex film is because this film, man, I was talking to somebody today. Toy Story movies really are a masterclass on script writing, on tight script writing with story, how to write characters, how to write relationships with characters, man. It's the reason why these movies work so well, and also how to advance your characters.
True.
How many movies have accomplished what Toy Story has done now that they've made a fourth film?
Very few.
Can you name me one?
No.
Exactly. I almost lost my goddamn mind last night just in the dark trying to think about what 4 movies in a row were perfect films, at least for me. And individually, damn near perfect movies, but all together came out to make one long, perfect, solid tale, our film itself, our story. I'll wait. Name one. You know what? I ain't waiting because you can't name one. Star Wars. That's 3 movies, goddammit. Jurassic Park. Get that shit out of here. Don't you even. The Avengers. 2 sucked. But, okay, it didn't suck, but it was. People are split on how good that one is. This. Try as you, man. I did the math. Last night I did all kind of things. I can't name one. Not one. But this series right here, it did it. And why did it do it? Because they found a way to keep progressing their story. The first 3 movies are a tight trilogy that add closure. Sure. This movie is almost like an epilogue in a way. And I'll tell you something, man. The ending of this this is up there with the Avengers because this is, I mean, if you think about it, Woody is Captain America. When Woody passed that badge off to Jesse, I was like, oh my God. That's like Steve Rogers handing over the shield to Sam Wilson, whatever his name is.
Yeah, that's right.
The Falcon. Captain America handed over the shield to the Falcon, saying, you know what, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
You got it now.
You should take this.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people thought that Woody was going to die. And I was like,
Man, come on, really?
There are people out there on the internet. It was being searched, Woody death.
Oh, no.
If you talking about your dick staying limp, yeah, maybe, but he ain't dying. Woody ain't dying. They're not gonna do that. Although
he is a toy.
Although maybe toys can die, I don't know. Maybe we haven't crossed that story yet. But yeah, people thought that Woody was gonna die, and everybody thought that they're gonna do something to actually make people cry, and they did.
Yeah.
But what they did with it, the reason why it meant so much, and as we all know, it was. The powerful thing with this is that Woody decides to actually trade his old life off, the only life that he really knows, and that is with the child. Not even Andy, but with the child. His whole thing has been, there's nothing more important in life than the love of a child and making a child happy. And then I like with this one. Bo Peep said, "Shit, you better come get this ass ready." He picked up messing around. Bo Peep was the one like Woody actually finally. It's bittersweet because Woody actually found happiness, man. He's able to give up almost his whole life of servitude.
Well, it brings the question of, yes, if you've dedicated your life to loving a child, being loved by a child, and doing everything for this child, like here, he's like, okay, I've been replaced by Forky, but this is what the child loves, and I'm gonna go out of my way. I'm gonna kill myself to make sure she's happy. But what happens when that child just does not love you, does not give a shit about you?
Yeah, doesn't love you anymore, and it's a hard thing. It's a hard. The movie deals with a lot of themes. I was watching this movie almost like a relationship movie. Imagine if you had a romantic comedy where the two people and at the end said, you know what, we've ran our course. We're not made for each other anymore. Things that movies with human beings do, issues that they can't cross, they do it here. Woody had to trade his life in, and he had to break up, with that one life that he always knew to pursue something else. That probably will make him happier.
Yeah.
And we'll play into this later, but that line got to me, man, when Buzz just told him, when he's like, Bonnie will be okay. Because he was like, because he was telling him, like, don't worry about our life here. He's like, go ahead, and I thought that was beautiful. Go find happiness, man.
Yeah.
Do what you do. I never would have seen that coming for a Toy Story movie. I thought they were slaves for life.
Right.
Because I've been telling them, I'm like, man.
Because Bo Peep was like, Woody, you can't be a house nigga the rest of your life.
Yeah.
come be free with the rest of us.
That's why I say it's a masterclass in writing. Because the writing in this has been carefully and lovingly thought out. It's hard to get people to care about your characters if you don't give a shit about them either.
True. Well, when they're just properties, which I say that because it's funny because these are properties. I mean,
they're literally properties, man. Yeah, they bought them.
I mean, there's something that, you buy out of a store, and there's hundreds, thousands of them made.
Yeah. And
yet they infuse more character and realness in them than you see in other people or other, quote unquote properties.
Yeah. I mean, this summer alone has proved that. They've been pushing the property over these characters. Nobody gave a about these X-Men because they seen them do the same shit over and over again, and they put everything over these characters besides the characters themselves. Godzilla, we talked about that. Godzilla was selling you on fights, nothing about the character. These human beings meant nothing, and Godzilla just big and dumb. I don't care how much y'all like him. He ain't got no fucking character. Shit, I don't know what you want me to say. Shit, Godzilla big and dumb like Chris Hemsworth. No, he's actually cool. But again, there's another one where selling the property, selling the suits, selling the aliens. But did you love these characters? Nobody loved these characters. No. You couldn't even give us a good villain. With this is a property where you could tell that these people spent time with these characters, and they really. I'm really believing, like, as much as we were scared, it was it was something that nobody who's working on this wanted to see an injustice done to this. If there's one thing we're not going to do is go through and piss on the history of what we've done, the legacy of what we've done here. I like the way Woody just comes in the room just lecturing all of y'all. Godzilla, damn, Chris, Thor. How hard is it, y'all? I'm a fucking toy. Your big ass can't do something. I'm talking to you, Chris. It really is something here. And I'm going to tell you, man, because with this movie, the reason why the writing is so great is because we thought we had closure here. And they thought, and we do, but it's not, we didn't see it coming.
No, I thought this was just going to be more of a lateral side story. Like, okay, they had some tales left over, and they'll tell this one. And then when it comes out, it's like, oh wait, this is so connected to everything else. It really is the ending of it all.
This is, because this is, when you watch the movie, it is the ending of, Woody's story, as we see so far. This is, and plus, we say the ending, but this has been his story all along.
Mm-hmm.
Forky in this movie is a brilliant MacGuffin. The marketing, the trailers, everything led us to believe that this was going to be a Forky story.
Yeah.
You don't know clouds.
I don't belong here!
What the
You love how Forky spent most of his life trying to commit suicide?
Yeah, that's what we said in the review, yeah. Forky spent 45 minutes of this movie talking about kill me.
Yeah. Where's the garbage can?
I thought that until the movie, because it looked like it was going to be Forky's story, and it looked like it was going to be more of a comedy. And then it looked like, okay, well, this is just going to be just a typical adventure.
Yeah, a Toy Story adventure.
Toy Story
Woody on the
adventure.
road again.
Woody on the road again, except with Buzz. And I thought that's what it's going to be. Forky was going to be another trash ass version of Buzz Lightyear, and Woody's gonna be spending the movie talking about you're a toy, not trash. We got to come back and save Bonnie. And no, the movie. Well, Woody was over here like, no, we got to go back to Bonnie. The movie just calmly grabbed Woody and said, no, Woody, it is you that's fucking up.
Yeah, we got to save you.
Yeah, they put Woody in a mirror. Look at this. It's been you the whole time.
It's Woody's intervention.
The horror on his face, when you look at it, because the thing is with the movie, it's so deep, man. Because the whole time it's just not the realization that Forky has. If you look at it seriously, Woody's been trying to save Forky, and the whole time Forky's been saying, "Look, man, I know who I am."
Right.
Forky said, "I'm fine with being trash. Are you?" Because she threw your ass away. You don't know what to do. The world is fine with me. It really is. If you look at these movies like Intervention, not movies, but shows, like Intervention, they have a couple of episodes where somebody has been trying to save a drug addict or an alcoholic, and everybody stops in the meeting. They're like, we'll get to them in a minute. The person in the room who's really fucked up is you. This is some deep shit, man. He's been trying to pull an intervention on Forky the whole time because he realizes, like, he doesn't want to admit it, but he has problems, man.
Sure.
This is amazing writing right here, man. This is why I give it also Better Than Sex. This is the only one in the series that has actually dealt with the harsh realities of being a toy. Now, before they've gone on some adventures, been put in dangers, and we've seen them like tortured and everything, but they really have to come to this point where it's like, yes, there's going to be a point where no, some cool kid like Andy is not just going to lovingly pass you down. No, some kids are not going to give a about you.
Well, they do go into that. I mean, but all along they've hinted at it. They've talked about a toy that went behind the curtain or under the bed and then just never got found, covered in dust mites.
Yeah, they mentioned that, but they mention it. It's like
they would show it.
But
that was that horror for them. Like, yeah, you don't want to get lost back there because then they'll never pull you out.
But this is the first one where they've actually had to confront it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Where they couldn't just blow it off.
They couldn't blow it. They couldn't make a side joke or anything about that. No, they had to make this a message. Like, last movie, like Andy, like, hey, Ed, look, I gotta go get some pussy, man. But Woody, you gonna be fine, man.
Well,
you got my blessing. I'm gonna pass you down.
Woody was his favorite, so he was always a golden boy. And Woody might be like, yeah, you don't want to have that happen to you, but inside it was like, well, shit ain't gonna happen to me.
Yeah,
I'm good, but like, you don't let this happen to you because I've seen it happen to other toys. But,
yeah,
Andy's gonna play with me.
Yeah.
He was only threatened when Buzz Lightyear came in. So he's like, oh, shit, he's the new shit. He's shiny. He's got space going on. What about me? But it didn't take long before it's like, oh, I'm just playing with both of y'all. He's always been in a good position. This is the first time he's been in a position. He's watched so many other toys be.
Well, it's always been everything in this room, in this world, in Andy's world is going to be fine. You know, we're going to find a way to have everybody cooperate. This family that we have, every toy is going to get played. You know, maybe Andy's going to has his favorite, but, you know, he's kind of the leader too, Woody, and he's got everything together. And also, you know, thing is, you need a guy like that because, you know, if Andy starts f***ing around and forgetting somebody, you know, Woody's always going to find a way to get you back. You know, Woody's going to he'll always find a way to get your ass played with.
Yeah.
And again, that's the whole irony of this, man. Out of this whole safe world that we've been in, who was the one that had the harshest message about being forgotten? It was Woody.
Yeah.
It came down to him. He's like, what the f***, man? I kept this shit together.
I know. And then once he was in there, everybody's like, man, you okay in there? I'm like, okay, y'all ain't going to help me as much as I helped everybody here.
And I got to tell you, the more these movies go on, the more they make me mad. Because I really am starting to really get pissed off with this message of, oh, we got to do everything to make these kids happy for the love of a child. I'm like, you know something? F that, man. Because whenever things go down real hard, y'all going to fight to live. Y'all remember that? If you seen the movie, they took over a car. And were about to they were about to ruin a man's life. The dad, they about to get his ass shot by the cops for speeding. They're like, y'all talk about all that love for a child shit until your ass is in danger, and then you will do everything for self-preservation.
Well, hey, man, that's the way it goes.
It makes you think about your existence. I mean, you know these toys. I mean, even more. Like, these toys are coming to life, and they have one purpose. It makes you think about it, man. You know, and that's why I thought Forky was good. Forky was something where you might feel bad for him because he's trash. You know, and also him coming to life, it's like, what is happening? What's happening to me? What are people doing to me? You know, those are, and this whole thing with Woody's existence, what is my life without a child? You know, these are very dark themes. And I thought that, you know, for a movie, dark themes can be handled, you know, they still have, you know, if they're handled well in a movie, it still takes great writing. Sure. But it's, you know, I would say they're a little bit easier to handle in a movie that can approach it that way. The brilliant thing about this movie is that it takes those themes and still manages to balance it out to where it fits for a family film, but not less thought-provoking.
It's a bit of a Trojan horse because you don't see it coming. You go in to watch a family film that's known for its humor, and this movie is hilarious. It's so funny. Mm-hmm. So all the existential themes, the darkness, it kind of just slips in there. And that's your guard is down, and it's slipped in. It's not beating you over the head, but it's just kind of right there. It's like you're watching something, you kind of turn over, and you're like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? Existential? Want to share this?"
Yeah.
And then you're like, "Oh shit, man, you brought up a lot of shit I wasn't thinking about before."
And that's what's brilliant about this film. You've always heard me say with like some of these smaller, independent, almost art films, I've said, you know, something, if you just make me think, I'm good. And this movie's going to entertain. This movie's going to entertain the hell out of you, man. You're going to watch this. You're going to laugh, and you thought it was adorable. You know, it did. That made you tear up and made you cry a little bit. But for the most part, you're like, man, it's still kind of a cute story, and these toys still got it, and it's amusing, it's wonderful. And then you walked out, and then you go home, you take a shower, brush your teeth, you get into bed, and sometime in the middle of the night, you wake up and be like, damn, that was fucked up. You know? Were you sitting in the dark thinking about this? It got to me, man. I mean, maybe I'm thinking overthinking this because really, this series, the series is about rejection. We said that in the review, man. This is, you know, we already talked about how this was a story about Woody being rejected. Woody having to come to terms that he not only is rejected, but he's probably going to end up with the fate of a lost toy, something that we've been told over and over again is a bad thing for a toy. The worst thing. Other characters in here are doing the same thing. Some of my favorite characters in here, it is about rejection for them. Duke Caboom, man. Duke Caboom. He probably has the most tragic story in here.
Yeah.
New from Maple Leaf Toys, Kaboom!
Who's the most spectacular daredevil Canada has ever seen?
That one moment right there, and y'all know the movie, that one moment right there was horrible. That Duke Caboom never got over that little Jufro kid throwing his ass away, not forgiving him for that one stunt that he couldn't do.
Well, or any of the stunts
Or any, yeah, he
that were
couldn't.
promised.
I mean, come on, man. It was a cool looking toy. Don't hold that against him. I was so mad at the kids in this movie. That's how this movie affected me. I was like, fuck that kid. I was so angry at that kid right there, man. And Gabby in the movie, man. Gabby in the film. Gabby.
Her story is tragic. I mean, and she's somebody you hate early on. And then when her story plays out, you can't help but just feel terrible for her.
I didn't even feel bad for it. I thought that was the beauty of Gabby. Gabby, for me, Gabby's such a great character because Gabby goes against, much like Forky, Gabby goes up against everything that we were taught to expect from this, from the trailers and the marketing. Because from the moment Gabby came up, I was like, all right, this is a horror movie.
Oh, yeah, it's very much a horror movie.
But the moment she said, I've been waiting for years to be, even when she was looking at Woody and thinking, I'm going to kill your ass on that voice box, I thought that's tragic because she's gone so many years in exile and loneliness, and because she had no box of her own. I mean, I thought even if she ends up turning really evil in the movie, which I thought Pixar might be smart enough not to do that, I thought, you know what, at least she's not a one-dimensional character. There's a level of sympathy that you can have for her. Gabby not being a straightforward villain enriches the characters in this movie so much more. Her not being a villain and Pixar not going the typical villain route enriches Woody's story so much more. Because, Woody, he does like the ultimate sacrifice for her to give her his voice box and leave his life. That really is what sealed his life, of not being there anymore behind. He's going to, because even if he does go back, he's going to be a broken toy. And that's just one thing like this, because let's just say that one day Bonnie decides to pull him out the closet and play with him and pull that string. Damn, this bitch don't even work. Let's put him in the trash. You know what I'm saying? Like that Herb not being a villain made him so much of a better character in the movie.
Oh, well, that always helps in any kind of story.
Yeah. Y'all know that moment where Gabby's picked up by a little girl. And I knew where it was going to go. Pixar ain't that, they ain't that stupid to make it that predictable. But y'all know the scene where Gabby got her voice box and she said, that's it. My life is good. All I got to do is have that little girl I've been pining for in the store to pick me up. And y'all remember that little girl, they played that music and she smiled, man. She trolled her. She smiled like, yeah, whatever. She threw it away. And under my voice, somebody sitting next to me, I'm like, man, bitch, fuck you. I was so mad at that kid. And I knew it was going to happen. I was pissed off. And I knew it was coming. I got to tell you, Disney, Disney, but Pixar, this whole thing with Pixar, that's why I think Pixar is still so great, even though they've had some hits and misses.
Sure.
I've always thought that Pixar, especially in movies where they say, you know what, we're not going to go the villain route. That whole thing in Inside Out, where there was not one villain at all to be seen. Looking at this, what it dealt with, and much like this movie right here, not having a straightforward villain, these two movies have a lot in common in that, they already know that there's a level of sadness and a level of suspense there, where it's like, the biggest thing that's happening here, the biggest enemy of what would be a villain personified here, or not personified, but just overall, would be the sadness of a child letting go. That's sad for a child, for your childhood memories, and that's sad for the characters they have in there. What's his name? Bobo? Whatever. What's his name?
Oh, was it Bobo?
That elephant in the
dude, that was the saddest part right there.
Bing Bong, yeah.
Yes.
When I saw that and I was like, I know y'all ain't gonna do him like this. And they did. When she had no more need for an imaginary friend.
Yeah, him making that sacrifice. Oof.
I was like, yeah, that got to me,
that was
man.
rough.
Yeah. I like when you can have these stories because typical family films, man, that's what they do. They make these stories easily made because, hey, it's just, our heroes going up against some kind of standard villain. And they don't do that here. Before I forget, though, I want to tell y'all something. Everybody's going crazy about Keanu Reeves because Keanu Reeves is the flavor right now. I love Keanu Reeves. Y'all know that. And everybody talking about, oh, man, he was great as Duke Caboom.
Who's the cowboy?
Duke, meet Woody. Woody, meet...
Duke Caboom, Canada's greatest stuntman. Huh. Oh, yeah. Huh. Huh.
Yes.
Okay, y'all talking about how great he is. That's just Keanu Reeves. I said this yesterday. Keanu Reeves eats French fries like that. Oh yeah. Oh, good. Yummy. Oh. Like, man, that's Keanu, man. No, I love it, but let's not act like he's doing like a tour de force acting session here or anything. I know it's not like I'm hating. I'm not.
Don't hate. He's good. I didn't even recognize that being his voice until you told me.
I guess maybe I did, and that's why I'm.
Oh.
But no, I love him. But yeah, that's still that's Bill and Ted right there.
I was totally against them doing number 4, and that worked out perfectly. Mm-hmm. I was against them doing number 3, and that worked out well.
Yeah.
So to say like, well, okay, fine, but I don't want them doing a number 5. No, I actually, if it's the same crew, they know what they're doing, and they seem to not get started until they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
We've ended Woody's chapter, but there are the other toys. So we could always see what goes on with them.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, man.
Or Woody's further adventures.
Well, yeah, because one of the things I thought they did very well here was that even though it's a story of rejection, one of the great things they did here was that rejection was balanced out with empowerment. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's why Bo Peep is such a great character in this, because Bo Peep, she took her rejection and she took that to help other toys, finding parts for, lost toys or unwanted toys and whatnot. And I love Bo Peep in this because, for one thing, Bo Peep, they gave her a purpose that goes beyond, well, we just need a powerful female in here.
Yes, because something you brought up about how we see so many movies where they stick in the powerful female, and I say stick in, it's more like they crowbar in, scotch tape it on, and they just mention it over and over, where you're like, you know what, if you were true to this, you wouldn't have to say it so many times.
You wouldn't, yeah.
And here she is very much a powerful female. And it's not even like she's a powerful female. She's a powerful character.
Yep. No, that's the thing. She's not just a powerful female. That's why I always say, man, if your character is a good character, you don't have to make a big deal about them being a female. They will be a powerful female, and you won't have to it's nothing that has to be said.
Yeah.
And I think in this, looking at this, man, the empowerment thing came in because now we have a whole new world of toys here that are cool with being kind of lost toys. They're like, all right, we still got each other.
Yeah.
And I think with that, if they wanted to, given what they have here, they could kick off a whole new trilogy if they want.
Yeah.
You could have Woody and his whole thing with Bo Peep. This could be a whole new. Woody's ending could be a whole new beginning.
Yeah.
For Woody. But I'm also thinking, now that the rest of the toys don't have Woody to guide them, it doesn't have to be the end of their story.
It doesn't. Although I don't see their story getting happier.
I don't see it getting happier. Like I said, it all ends up in a landfill where they're just buried alive and like wearing, crying for help that will never come.
Because how long is a little girl going to play with a Buzz Lightyear?
That's true. Well, hey, Martin, it's a new age now. Hey, maybe Bonnie's a lesbian.
That has nothing to do with it.
But, hey, we're on this whole thing now. They can have another movie because they talk about how toys should not be gender-centric. Mm-hmm. So maybe Bonnie really loves Buzz Lightyear, and that's a good lesson of like, hey, girls can love these badass action figures too. And while we're talking about Buzz Lightyear, Chris Herman was talking to me last night, and I thought, this could probably be a really cool idea. There was a rejected story. Let me see here. There was going to be this Buzz Lightyear story where he had a failing part, and they had to recall him, and he was dying. So they had to go to, I think they either had to go to Taiwan or they had to go to Japan.
Didn't they just use that in Wreck-It Ralph?
He probably did something like that. And that idea probably went there, but I don't know. They could probably do something like that with Buzz Lightyear, since now Buzz doesn't have Woody anymore. Yeah, and he's talking to like models that are better than him.
Oh,
yeah, like that's a Japanese model right there. Like, what the f are you looking at? Yeah.
Oh, you're a 2.0. We don't carry those anymore.
Yeah. What's up, scab? This is they could take elements of that and use that for maybe a Buzz Lightyear story.
Yeah.
And now we have a whole new series of stories. I'm not totally against them not doing this.
Yeah.
You know? If they want to do more and can still make it as good. Because the way you got to look at it is that even if they do start to go downhill, you always have.
We always had the 4.
You always have the first 4 movies, man, that wrap up a great story. Key and Peele cracked me up in this, man. And as we said, you know, when we were talking about them, I always thought Bunny and Ducky were going to get on my goddamn nerves doing this whole thing.
The new movie trailer? For what? You ain't see it?
Say what? What is it, Bunny?
Ducky.
What?
They're making another Toy Story movie.
No! I thought those movies were done, dog. They made 3
They
movies.
did make 3 movies. This is number 4.
Oh, shoot!
You know, shucking and jiving ass. Sit down somewhere. I'm so happy they were attached at the, because they right here, they're free. I was so happy they were attached at the hands in this, so they wouldn't have to run around acting a goddamn fool all day like this. But that scene, their scenes are so great because they catch me off guard the most.
Yeah.
That scene where they attacked that 80-year-old woman, I thought that's like shit. They went hard, man. I thought that was real. And in a way, I was like, yeah, now y'all get it. Finally. Took 2 brothers in here to like lead the revolution.
Yeah, but when it seemed like that was real, I was like, oh, these things have turned a dark page now.
Oh yeah, now it's turning to Chucky and Annabelle. Just how deep this movie is, man, and how this movie made me think so much. A movie about toys made me think about existentialist issues or existential issues, and this movie also made me just love these characters even more. I think and that's why maybe it's because of what we had, but I had to look at characters who even in the movie they're not even human beings. They're actually toys, inanimate objects, and they made me feel so much better about cinema and film and characters than any other movie that's out. I would even say this, definitely the summer. This is the best movie of the summer. I mean, if you think about it, I don't know if Endgame really counts because it came out. That still counts as a spring movie. That a summer movie.
I feel like that's, I mean, come on, man.
I'm really trying to find
all
it.
those niggas in there. How is that not a summer movie? Are you serious right
Boy,
now?
I'm really trying to position this. Well, that came out a day before summer, man. I love this. Love this, man. And I get why people would not. I mean,
Well, when I read online, everybody seems to like it, but this is the weakest of the series. This is the best of the series.
yeah, and there's some things that people said. One thing that some people say is that you had that moment at the end of the movie, that moment where like I said, where Buzz tells Woody, and Woody thinks he's gonna tell them like, Bonnie's, I gotta go be with Bonnie. He's about to say the name, and Buzz is like, Bonnie will be okay. That was a quiet moment. Yeah, people just barely just had a tear about to drop from their eye when all the other toys were just kind of like, oh, Forky's still somewhere. We got to go rescue Forky. And they said kind of undercut the moment with a gag. I didn't notice, so I can't say anything.
I didn't think that so much.
Yeah.
I didn't think that so much.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, had I been seeing it not to a bunch of other critics, I would have cried.
Yeah.
I was fighting to hold it in.
Yeah, I was too. And like I say, man, I cry because I know these characters aren't real, but sometimes I just cry because it's dry out there.
Nah,
boy.
man, you talk shit about people crying over the death of Tony Stark, so I don't want to hear nothing from
Hey
you
man,
right
I
now.
told you, I had.
I mean, people out here crying over goddamn Iron Man when there's real people dying and they don't give a shit.
When real people like Woody are dying. Thanks for watching, everybody. It seems like you like us, so hit that subscribe button. But if you really, really, really like us, then check out our main site, doubletoasted.com. Over there, you'll find the long-form version of this video, uncensored, unedited, and the live streams that we do almost every night of the week. Support us at d2merch.com, and remember to always stay toasty.